Right now on News 4 at 6, grim discovery. A body is pulled from the water at the outer harbor. The next steps in finding out who this person is.
Then we've had a beautiful weekend so far in the weather department. My goodness, feeling like spring. And there's plenty more where that came from in the 7-day coming up in your 4 and forecast.
Plus, hunting down Saddam Hussein. We sit down with the mastermind behind his capture, the techniques he used. We begin at 6 with a developing story out of Buffalo. A fisherman made a grim discovery today, spotting a body in the water at the outer harbor. Good evening, everyone. Police were called to Furman Boulevard near the small boat harbor just before 11:30 this morning. South District officers and homicide detectives responded to the 1000 block of Furman Boulevard. Then the Buffalo Police underwater recovery team pulled the man's body from the water. Police say it appears he may have been in the water for a while. Authorities are now working to identify the body, and medical examiners will perform an autopsy to determine how the man died. Buffalo police are also investigating a shooting that happened just around the same time this morning. Police say a man was seriously injured after being shot at Ashley and Crump Streets around 11:30. If you know anything about this shooting, call police at 847-2255. A man and a Good Samaritan who tried to help him were injured during an assault this weekend. Buffalo police say at least 4 men jumped a man around 1:30 a.m. Saturday near Elmwood and Allen. Officers tell us a passerby tried to step in to help but was also assaulted by the suspects. Police say the 2 men were injured but not seriously. The Good Samaritan did end up going to a Niagara County hospital. Call police if you know anything about this attack. City of Tonawanda police arrested this man after they say a shotgun was fired in his home. Police say 57-year-old Michael McCurry was upset about being left at a motel in Niagara Falls after a night of drinking and had to walk home. They say when he got home, he grabbed a shotgun, pointed it at the 2 people who left him and told them to get out. Police say a 3rd person pushed McCurry. That's when the shot was fired into the floor. McCurry now faces several charges, including attempted assault.
To better serve key areas of our city, we will open 2 new police substations, one at the Broadway Market and one at Canalside.
The city and the Erie Canal Harbor Development Corporation are moving forward to enhance security at Canalside. This summer, a free T-Pain concert at the waterfront attracted more than 25,000 people. Fans climbed signs and rushed the concert area. There were also problems at Canalside on the 4th of July. News 4's Rachel Monjovi explains how a new police substation will keep events safer at the bustling waterfront. Rachel?
Callan, the Erie County Harbor Development Corporation will be paying for this substation. They say it's been in the works for about 6 months. The mayor publicly announced it on Friday. Empire State Development President Sam Hoyt tells us it's more than just a substation. It will also be a visitors and information center for guests, and it will have permanent restrooms. The police department requested the substation. Officials say it will help police enhance security measures at all Canalside events and help the flow of traffic. Hoyt believes this will also reduce the number of incidents and arrests at the free concerts during the summer.
We're very proud of the progress that we've made in securing Canalside and minimizing the trouble down here. But you want to know something? When you have huge crowds, there's always going to be troublemakers. Anything that we can do to make Canalside safer, to assure our customers that this is a safe and secure place for them to come, to send their children to, is a priority.
The exact location of the substation has not been determined yet. Officials say construction will begin sometime this year. Another substation is expected to be added to the Broadway Market this year. In the studio tonight, Rachel Monjovi, News 4 at 6.
Well, it was a great day to be down at the waterfront. It was a beautiful day, lots of sun, warm temperatures. This is a live look over downtown right now. Don't worry, more of this is on the way this week, which is a sigh of relief to many people
Sure.
who are happy to have this in the middle of February.
Not too bad, is it?
No.
A little haze out there with a little moisture in the air, but no rain, no real cloud cover for that matter, and we're going to stay that way for the next 24 hours. Tracking a couple little hiccups this week, but my goodness, this spring-like weather is sticking around for quite some time. Here's a look at Niagara Falls with the sun setting, some very nice colors, and the mist rising. Definitely looking more like April than, say, mid-February. High temperatures once again very impressive today. 48 in Buffalo, 58 up at Niagara Falls, some low and mid-50s across the southern tier. Not much of a breeze either compared to yesterday, so it felt a lot nicer. 49, that's 15 degrees above our normal here in Buffalo. Very impressive. Once again, our normal high temperature was actually our recorded low temperature for the night. Here's how temperatures sit right now. We're cooling things off as we lose the daylight here around Buffalo. 39 at the airport, 48 up at the falls, some mid-40s in the southern tier. It will be another cool night if you're heading on out or waking up tomorrow morning and stepping out the door. Definitely want a jacket. Thankfully, not much of a wind. What we are seeing out of the west-northwest, right around 5 or 10 miles an hour. It'll stay that way throughout the rest of tonight. Here's what I'm talking about. Throughout the rest of this evening, we'll fall through the 40s into the 30s, and then overnight, starting off pretty much right around freezing for many spots, if not a couple degrees below for that Monday morning commute. But we warmed back up into the afternoon for your President's Day, getting back in the low and probably mid-40s with a good deal of sunshine returning. As far as tonight's concerned, clear to partly cloudy, feeling a bit cooler, but a light breeze out there. Not too bad. Coming up in my full 4 forecast, we'll talk about that warm spell. In fact, 60s possible this week, but I am tracking a little bit of wet weather to tell you about in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Andrew. You can get the forecast anytime by downloading the free Forewarn Weather app. You can also log on to WIVB.com for the latest forecast. Across the state tonight, hundreds of thousands of dollars are being invested to help get teens and young adults back on their feet. The school districts in both Albany and Rochester are getting $150,000 in state and federal grants to help put their Connecting Youth in Transition programs in place. It targets youth 14 to 24 years old who are not working and are not in school. School districts will hire transition coordinators to help them improve their situations. Signs that were meant to increase tourism but were deemed illegal by the federal government cost taxpayers $8 million. That figure came out this week during a state budget hearing on transportation. In 2014, the federal government said these I Love New York signs did not meet federal regulations, but the Department of Transportation still put up more than 500 across the state. Now the state is trying to work with the feds to keep these signs in place.
We're not putting in any more signs. We have installed our signs. We are where we are. We continue to have very positive engagement with Federal Highway, and we look forward to continuing that conversation.
The Transportation Commissioner says the signs are increasing traffic on the department apps, which in turn helps the state's economy. Governor Cuomo told reporters this week in Buffalo the signs are legal and make the state a lot of money.
You look at what's happening in Germany. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden.
President Trump alluded to some kind of an event that happened in Sweden during his campaign-style rally yesterday in Florida. He said it while referring to terror attacks around the world. But current and former Swedish officials say nothing of the kind has taken place, especially Friday night. About an hour ago, the president tweeted his comment was about a story that aired on Fox News about immigrants in Sweden. Roxana Saberi reports on what the president did today.
President Trump spent Sunday at his Florida resort meeting with potential candidates for National Security Advisor. General Michael Flynn resigned nearly a week ago after admitting he gave incomplete information about phone calls with Russian officials before Mr. Trump took office.
This president has accomplished more in the first 30 days of this presidency than people can possibly remember in a very long time.
Army strategist Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster, former United Nations Ambassador John Bolton, Acting National Security Advisor Keith Kellogg, and West Point Superintendent Lieutenant Colonel Robert Caslin are reportedly on the president's shortlist.
The growing Islamophobia.
In New York, thousands protested Mr. Trump's plans for a travel ban on people from 7 predominantly Muslim countries. Many people here say this rally goes beyond opposing what they call an anti-Muslim ban. They say they're celebrating the true spirit of America, showing compassion to people of all faiths and backgrounds.
All of the diversity
and unity here today should make a statement, not only to the White House, but to the world, that we love our Muslim community here in America, and we're here for them.
A federal court halted President Trump's first attempt at the travel ban. The president has promised to unveil a new, more specific executive order on immigration in the coming days. Roxana Saberi for CBS News, New York.
The curtain is closing once again for a local theater. The Showplace Theater at Grant Street and Military Road is for sale. Over the years, the building has gone from movie theater to a live concert venue featuring top national bands. Now the theater could be yours. The cost, $450,000. Contact Hastings & Cone Real Estate if you are interested. New York's Attorney General wants you to let his office know if your internet is not running as fast as your provider claims it should. Eric Schneiderman announced earlier this month a lawsuit against Charter Communications and Spectrum for promising internet speeds that were not delivered. He wants you to test your internet speed at home and contact his office if it's not as fast as your provider is promising. Tomorrow is President's Day, and that means federal buildings will be closed, including the post office. There will not be any offices open tomorrow, and don't expect mail delivery at your home or business. The only exception is Priority Express mail. If you need stamps, you can buy them at most grocery, pharmacy, and convenience stores. On the way at 6, hitting the ice one last time. The final games are being played at the annual Labatt Blue Pond Hockey Tournament. Find out how the event has grown over the years. And studying snow from space, why NASA is keeping such a close eye on snowfall totals this year.